Good Saturday morning. Pastor Rob here. Time for a little coffee and devotionals. Same thing I do every morning. Was thinking today that was watching the news last night, which I don't normally do, but the occupation in Seattle is quite interesting, and I couldn't help but think of a verse in Proverbs 16 that says, "There's a way that seems right to a man, but it only leads to death." So you have this occupation in Seattle going on. People that don't want the police, they don't want basically any authority. They're trying to create a utopia, which is never going to happen. These experiments have gone on. I can't remember the name of a guy who bought a farm way back when and tried to do a utopian society, and I think it lasted about 2 years, and he had endless funds and so on. They created a community and it failed. So you're going to see that again in Seattle. It'll last for a short time. It'll be fun for those people, and then eventually they'll walk away, and the fun will be over, and life will get back to the way it used to be. But there's a way that seems right to a man, and to them the way seems to put God out, put rules out, put authority out, and let's just sit around and have fun and dance in the streets. But the first thing they did was build a wall around their settlement, so to speak. Everybody who's against those walls and things, walls and fences make good neighbors, from what I hear, and you got to protect your country. You got to protect the people of your nation, and I know people are against those, but we need the walls. There's nothing wrong with immigration and things like that if people come in the right way. And then the same people started arming themselves. I don't know why a utopian society needs weapons, but okay, good for them. I just thought that was interesting. But the way seems right to them, but the Bible's very clear. Those types of things only lead to death. And you see this go on for a little while. You look at Genesis I think it's chapter 11, and the Tower of Babel, and the people thought there was a way that was right to them, and they were going to build their own way to God. Now, God has, since the beginning of time, before a foundational brick was laid to the earth, had a way to heaven, and that was going to be through Jesus Christ. But the people in Genesis thought, we're going to build our own way to heaven. And God let it go so far, and this is for our times as well. He's going to let things go so far, and eventually he's going to say, "I've had enough." And that'll be it. And he'll come and he'll deal with what's going on. He's only going to let science go so far. He's only going to let technology go so far. And eventually he's going to pull the plug on everything. Very interesting thought. This is just praying and meditating on that. And the other thing I noticed is that you see a lot of judgment coming out of this utopian idea. Man, I'll tell you, when you think of Matthew, and you think when it says, "Don't judge the speck in your brother's eye until you get the 2x4 out of your eye, or the board out of your eye, or the plank out of your eye." What it means is the plank's already there. You have enough faults. You have a lot of things. Don't look at your brother and try to get that little speck out of his, because you haven't got the giant 2x4 out of yours. But this is what's happening. There's judgment. There's definitely some type of underlying agenda to all this, but certainly everything that they claim to be against and the way that seems right to them is showing that they don't even know what they're doing. So there's judgment, there's censorship, there's weapons, there's walls, there's all kinds of hate speech going on in Seattle. But the way seems right to them, and it's only going to lead to death, and eventually God will pull the plug on it. And he's going to pull the plug on all of society eventually, and when he returns. But anyway, I was thinking of that. And by the way, if you're going to judge somebody, and you're going to come down on somebody that hard, and you're going to make a blanket statement across the nation, if you're going to censor everybody on all these technological platforms, the thought that I always have in my mind is, if you're really going to judge somebody, you better be prepared to live a flawless life your entire life. Don't ever make a mistake. I mean, I've seen things from people 8, 10, 12 years ago now are coming up, and they're being held against them. People make mistakes. People make mistakes. Where there's sheep, there's droppings. Things are going to happen. So if you're going to judge somebody, make sure you're prepared to live a perfect life on this earth until the day you die. Otherwise, don't judge anybody. Be thankful for God's grace and God's mercy. Be glad that God didn't judge us when we deserved it, and he should have wiped us out by them because of our sin. But he didn't. He loved us, and he died for us, and he's going to prepare a place for us. Remember, I said yesterday, he's going to prepare a place for us. This is not our place. It may seem right to men, but it's going to lead to death here. But he's going to prepare a place for us that believe in him, those and anybody that believes in him. He died for all mankind. Anybody that believes in Christ will one day live in the place that Christ is currently preparing for those people. So there's a way that seems right to a man. Proverbs 16. It leads to death. God's going to let everybody go to a little as far as until he's had enough. And he's going to pull the plug on everything, and he's going to come down and have the ultimate say so. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Let's keep looking forward, keep looking towards the cross, keep marching on, and keep trusting God. Everybody in Christ is a brotherhood. You know, the thing about that is we know that. When you meet a Christian, you know it. You meet somebody that's a brother or sister in the Lord, you don't worry about what they do or what their political values are. You just know that they're in Christ, and you can feel it in your heart. And so let's keep marching with that attitude. Love one another, embrace the word, tell people about Jesus Christ. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. We have 10:30 service at Sugar Tree Ridge, and 11 o'clock the preaching will start. And Kyler does a great job. The ladies do a great job with the music out there. Everybody's doing a great job bringing the church together. We're meeting in the parking lot. Hopefully it doesn't rain. If it rains, then we will we'll go on live here at 10 o'clock Sunday morning. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you Monday.